Welcome to NVL Travel Documentary. Beneath the golden sun and ocean breeze of San Diego lies a world no travel guide dares to show.
That's what we have right there.
Baskets, I stuff in baskets. Okay?
No beachside cocktails, no rooftop selfies, only tents under freeways, sirens echoing in the dark, and people locked in a battle with homelessness, addiction, and survival. Have you ever wondered why a war veteran sleeps on the sidewalk? Why a 70-year-old woman calls a parking lot her home? Or why fatal fentanyl overdoses happen just steps away from luxury resorts? San Diego isn't just a postcard paradise, it's the epicenter of a hidden crisis. In this episode, NVL Travel Documentary takes you beyond the skyline, into the city's forgotten corners, where crime, despair, and resilience collide. And by the end, you might never see this city the same way again. Number 1. San Diego's double life, paradise and the unhoused. San Diego, a city celebrated for its picturesque coastline and vibrant culture, is currently grappling with a significant homelessness crisis. As of January 2024, the city reported 10,605 individuals experiencing homelessness, marking a 3% increase from the previous year. This uptick underscores the persistence and complex nature of the issue, affecting diverse segments of the population. Particularly vulnerable are the elderly. Seniors aged 55 and above now constitute 30% of the homeless population, a rise from 29% in 2023 and 25% in 2022. Alarmingly, nearly half of these older adults are unsheltered, residing in conditions unfit for human habitations and support systems. Veterans, who once served the nation, are also disproportionately affected. In 2023, 875 veterans were experiencing homelessness in San Diego County, with 58% of them unsheltered. Despite targeted programs, the number of unsheltered veterans has continued to rise, indicating gaps in current support mechanisms. Families are not spared from this crisis. The count of families sleeping outdoors increased from 24 in 2023 to 43 in 2024. This surge reflects the broader challenges faced by low-income households, particularly in the face of escalating housing costs. Racial disparities further complicate the landscape. While Black or African American individuals represent 12% of the U.S. population, they account for 32% of all people experiencing homelessness. Similarly, Hispanic or Latino populations have seen a 59% increase in homelessness since 2015. These figures underscore systemic inequities that transcend mere economic factors. The data paints a sobering picture. Homelessness in San Diego is a multifaceted issue, cutting across age, service history, family status, and racial lines. Addressing it necessitates a comprehensive, empathetic approach that considers the unique challenges faced by each subgroup within the homeless population. Number 2. Beneath the freeway. Life and loss in the island. Amidst the sun-kissed allure of San Diego lies a stark reality. The city's homeless population often seeks refuge in concealed enclaves, driven further into obscurity by stringent public camping ordinances. One such enclave, poignantly dubbed the Island, nestles beneath the expansive stretch of Interstate 5 near SeaWorld. This secluded haven has, over time, evolved into a tight-knit community where residents, despite facing adversity, embody resilience and mutual support. In June 2023, San Diego enacted the Unsafe Camping Ordinance, aiming to regulate encampments on public property. This legislation prohibits camping in certain public spaces, especially near schools and parks, and its enforcement commenced on July 31, 2023. Consequently, many individuals experiencing homelessness sought refuge in less conspicuous areas, such as the island, to avoid legal repercussions. By mid-2024, the island had become home to approximately 40 individuals and accumulated an estimated 20 tons of debris, highlighting the challenges posed by such encampments. Despite the harsh living conditions, residents fostered a sense of community, supporting one another amidst adversity. Recognizing the environmental and safety concerns, the City of San Diego, in collaboration with organizations like the San Diego River Park Foundation, initiated efforts to address the encampment. In August 2024, the city secured a $3,600,000 state grant to clear encampments along the San Diego River, with a significant portion allocated to outreach programs. These initiatives aim to connect residents with appropriate housing and services, emphasizing the importance of sustainable solutions over temporary fixes. By January 2025, these concerted efforts led to the removal of 78 tons of waste from the island, and approximately 70 individuals transitioned off the streets. Of these, 14 secured permanent housing, 35 moved to safe sleeping sites, 15 entered shelters, and 6 reunited with family. This outcome underscores the efficacy of coordinated interventions and the resilience of those affected. While the enforcement of camping bans has reshaped the landscape of homelessness in San Diego, it has also prompted discussions about the balance between public safety and compassionate support. The story of the island serves as a testament to the challenges and triumphs inherent in addressing homelessness, highlighting the need for comprehensive strategies that prioritize both enforcement and empathy. Number 3. Why are people homeless? The triple root of the crisis. San Diego's homelessness crisis is a multifaceted issue rooted in economic disparities, individual challenges, and systemic shortcomings. 1. Economic imbalance. The city's housing market has long been characterized by a significant mismatch between supply and demand. Over the past 3 decades, San Diego has faced a shortfall of approximately 90,000 homes, as construction has not kept pace with population growth. This scarcity has driven median home prices to around $910,000. Consequently, an annual income of nearly $243,000 is now required to afford a medium-priced home in the area. Renters face similar challenges, with median rents for a 2-bedroom apartment exceeding $3,000 monthly in many urban areas. While recent data suggests a potential slowdown in price growth due to increased inventory, the overall affordability crisis persists, leaving low-income individuals struggling to secure housing. 2. Personal factors. Individual circumstances significantly contribute to homelessness. In San Diego County, more than 40% of homeless individuals are believed to have a mental illness. Additionally, substance use disorders are prevalent, with 38% dependent on alcohol and 26% on other addictive drugs. Life-altering events such as job loss, severe illness, or family breakdowns often serve as tipping points, pushing vulnerable individuals into homelessness. 3. Lack of support systems. San Diego's support infrastructure has struggled to meet the needs of its homeless population. While programs like Project One for All aim to provide comprehensive services, including mental health counseling and housing, gaps remain. The city has initiated efforts such as the Safe Sleeping Program, expanding to 765 tents in 2024, offering non-congregate options to the shelter system. However, the demand for services continues to outstrip supply, perpetuating a cycle of poverty, homelessness, and health challenges. Addressing these root causes requires a holistic approach that encompasses economic reforms, personalized support services, and robust systemic interventions to break the recurring cycle of homelessness in San Diego. Number 4. Cleaning the streets won't solve the crisis. In mid-2023, San Diego rolled out the Unsafe Camping Ordinance, a law that bans setting up tents in public spaces as long as shelter is available. On paper, it sounds like a step forward: clean up the streets, protect public spaces, and make the city more appealing for tourists. But here's the catch: it only scratches the surface. The real intention? Keep the sidewalks camera ready, especially in areas frequented by visitors. But while tents disappear from public view, the people don't. They're simply pushed into more hidden, often more dangerous corners of the city. As one outreach worker put it, "We're sweeping people, not solving problems." And the numbers speak volumes. In 2024, despite enforcement of the ordinance, San Diego still recorded over 10,600 individuals experiencing homelessness, a nearly 3% increase from the previous year. That's a sobering reminder that policy without compassion doesn't move the needle. Now let's talk about those available shelters. Sounds reassuring, right? In reality, emergency shelters are bursting at the seams. Beds are limited, and many facilities lack the critical wraparound services that help people rebuild their lives, like mental health counseling, addiction treatment, and career guidance. According to a city audit released in early 2025, more than 70% of temporary shelters reported inadequate staffing or resources to support long-term rehabilitation. In the end, we're stuck in a cycle. A person gets displaced, finds no real help, ends up back on the street, and the process begins again. We've treated the symptom, but ignored the disease. If there's one thing this policy has shown, it's this: you can move a tent, but you can't erase a crisis. Real solutions require more than optics. They require investment in people, not just places. And until we address the deeper causes, from housing shortages to mental health gaps, San Diego will remain a postcard city with a hidden humanitarian emergency just out of frame. Number 5. When the community speaks, the city listens. When the system falls short, the community often steps up. And in San Diego, that couldn't be more true. Every day, countless charitable organizations, faith-based groups, and volunteers show up on the front lines of the city's homelessness crisis. From hot meals and warm clothing to medical checkups and mental health support, they offer more than just survival. They offer dignity. For example, Father Joe's Village serves over 1 million meals each year and helps more than 2,000 people nightly with shelter and health care. That's not charity, that's compassion in action. But support here isn't just practical, it's also powerful, emotional, and deeply human. All across San Diego, artists are turning blank walls into stories. Murals painted under overpasses or along alleys tell the dreams, fears, and memories of people living without homes. Projects like Voices of Our City and the Unhoused platform, one brushstroke at a time. These works of art don't just decorate the city, they invite empathy. They ask us to see what we often overlook. And then comes the media, the bridge between the street and the living room. Documentaries, podcasts, and grassroots journalism have begun to flip the script. No longer framing the homeless as a problem, they now highlight root causes: lack of affordable housing, untreated trauma, and broken systems. Take the Homeless in San Diego podcast, for instance. Each episode shares a personal story, reshaping public perception and nudging the needle toward understanding. The truth is, narratives matter. The more we shift from blame to understanding, the closer we get to real change. These community efforts, whether through action, art, or storytelling, are not just patchwork. They're the early threads of a stronger social fabric. So now, let's talk to you, our audience. If you believe community care should be prioritized over punishment, comment the number 1. But if you think policy enforcement is the only way to solve homelessness, comment the number 0. Let's start the conversations, because every voice counts, and yours might just be the one that sparks change. Number 6. Housing first, a key that's already working elsewhere. Imagine a society where the cycle of homelessness is broken not by temporary shelters, but by providing a permanent place to call home. This is the essence of the housing first approach, a transformative strategy that has yielded remarkable success in cities like Helsinki, Vienna, and New York. Helsinki, Finland. Since adopting Housing First in 2008, Finland has witnessed a dramatic decrease in homelessness, with numbers dropping from approximately 20,000 in the 1980s to around 4,341 in recent years. By prioritizing immediate housing without preconditions, individuals gain the stability needed to address underlying issues such as mental health or substance abuse. Vienna, Austria. Renowned for its commitment to social housing, Vienna has integrated Housing First principles to further combat homelessness. An initiative launched in 2023 aims to provide over 1,000 homeless individuals with their own apartments by September 2024, supported by a €6,600,000 investment. This approach not only offers shelter, but also fosters social inclusion and personal development. New York City. Facing a severe housing crisis, New York has recognized the efficacy of Housing First. In January 2025, over 120,000 people slept in NYC shelters each night, marking the highest levels since the Great Depression. The Housing Access Voucher Program, modeled after federal Section 8 vouchers, aims to provide rental subsidies to families facing eviction or homelessness, addressing the root causes of housing instability. The common thread in these cities is a holistic approach, providing stable housing as a foundation, then offering medical, psychological, and employment support. This strategy not only restores dignity, but also proves cost-prohibitive, reducing reliance on emergency services. The key takeaway is the power of collaboration among governments, nonprofits, and communities to enact sustainable change. Number 7. Beyond shelter. Building a full support system. Envision a future where everyone has a place to call home, where innovative solutions and collaborative efforts converge to eradicate homelessness. To turn this vision into reality, several key strategies must be implemented. Expanding affordable housing supply. Addressing the housing crisis begins with increasing the availability of affordable homes. This can be achieved through constructing new units, renovating existing structures, and exploring alternative housing models. For instance, the rise of tiny home villages offers a cost-efficiency and efficient solution. In Savannah, Georgia, the Tiny House Project has successfully built 23,000 for veterans, each costing between $34,000 and $36,000. This initiative not only provides shelter but also fosters a sense of community among residents. Moreover, the concept of community land trusts, CLTs, has gained traction, with over 500 active groups across the United Kingdom. These volunteer-driven organizations develop land for housing and community spaces, ensuring long-term affordability and turning "not in my backyard" sentiments into "yes in my backyard." Enhancing support services. Providing housing is just the first step. Comprehensive support services are crucial for sustainable reintegration. Expanding access to mental health care, addiction treatment, job training, and social reintegration programs is essential. In Oregon, programs like the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon, MHAO, offer immediate detox and recovery support to homeless individuals, emphasizing peer support and community integration. Additionally, integrating mental health and addiction treatment into general healthcare settings has proven effective. Evidence-based models for integrated care facilitate better patient outcomes by addressing multiple needs concurrently. Interdisciplinary collaboration. Tackling homelessness requires a united front, bringing together government agencies, businesses, and community organizations. Initiatives like the Housing and Services Partnership Accelerator exemplify this approach. By assembling interdisciplinary teams to navigate common challenges such as data integration and resource sharing. In West Texas, child welfare groups have united to address local homelessness among children and adults, emphasizing the importance of community collaboration. Organizations like the Basin Dream Center, the Salvation Army, and Field's Edge work collectively to provide resources and support, demonstrating the power of coordinated efforts. Leveraging technology. In the digital age, technology serves as a powerful ally in combating homelessness. Utilizing data collection and analysis enables the identification of trends, assessment of program effectiveness, and allocation of resources where they are needed most. For example, innovative building methods such as 3D printed homes are being explored to address the housing crisis. These techniques promise to reduce construction costs and time, offering potential solutions for affordable housing. By embracing these strategies, expanding affordable housing, enhancing support services, fostering collaboration, and leveraging technology, we can pave the way toward a future where homelessness is not just addressed, but eradicated. It requires a collective commitment to innovation, compassion, and unwavering dedication to the belief that everyone deserves a place to call home. Number 8. A moral issue and an economic no-brainer. When we talk about homelessness, most people think of moral responsibility, and yes, that matters deeply. But what often gets overlooked is the cold, hard truth. Homelessness is expensive, not just for the individuals experiencing it, but for the entire system supporting them. Let's start with emergency services. When someone's living on the streets, they're far more likely to end up in emergency rooms, police custody, or temporary shelters. A study in Vancouver showed that each unhoused person costs the public system around 55,000 Canadian dollars per year, mostly in healthcare, policing, and crisis response. Compare that to $37,000 per year to house and support that same person. That's not just more humane, it's cost prohibitive. But it doesn't stop there. Homelessness affects everyone. When people sleep in doorways, parks, or transit stations, it creates tension. Public safety feels compromised, and communities become more divided in us versus them mindset sets in. This social fragmentation chips away at trust, inclusion, and local economies, especially in urban centers like Los Angeles and San Francisco, where visible homelessness is tied to declining tourism and rising business vacancies. The biggest irony? The longer we wait to act, the more we pay. Chronic homelessness leads to long-term health deterioration, unemployment, and trauma, all of which require costly interventions down the line. According to a 2024 U.S. federal estimate, permanent supportive housing can reduce public spending by up to 65% per individual over time. So here's the takeaway. Investing in housing and wraparound services isn't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. It's strategic economics. It's choosing prevention over crisis, stability over chaos. And in a world of shrinking budgets and growing need, that kind of efficiency is more than welcome. It's essential. Because at the end of the day, building homes saves more than money. It rebuilds lives, reconnects communities, and restores the basic human truth that everyone deserves a place to belong. San Diego, a coastal jewel with palm-lined streets and ocean breezes, also hides a quiet contradiction. Behind the beauty lies an invisible crisis, thousands without shelter, stories untold, and a system stretched thin. In this travel documentary by NVL Travel Documentary, we've explored more than just cityscapes. We've walked through lives caught in the margins and uncovered the social and financial truths of homelessness that most travel guides leave out. From successful housing-first models in Finland and New York to the economic logic of investing early in housing and services, this story is about more than charity. It's about strategy, about dignity, about building communities that don't leave people behind. And as we've seen, the long-term cost of doing nothing is far greater, not just in dollars, but in humanity. What's needed isn't just policy. It's collective effort across sectors, across backgrounds, across city lines. And just as important, it starts with a shift in mindset, choosing compassion over blame, understanding over judgment. So if this story moved you or made you think, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below, share your perspective, or tell us what's happening in your own city. If you'd like to see more stories like this, stories that explore both the beauty and the burden of the places we visit, consider liking the video or subscribing to NVL Travel Documentary. Because every person has a story worth hearing, and together, with empathy and action, we can make a difference.